Welcome back and welcome to module number 20, managing posts. So look, if you aren't careful, this dark post business can actually turn into a full-time job because there's actually management required, whether you want to hear that or not. For instance, let's say you have 20 dark posts running right now, 20 of them. Let's say you're starting to get the hang of it. That means that you could be responding to comments on 20 posts every single day and having to keep looking at them, keep looking at them. Okay, you might have to be deleting comment spam on 20 different posts and having to go fight all the spam that's happening, or possibly even banning users from those 20 posts. And that's just 20. What happens when you scale out to 100 or 200, right? One of the things you rarely hear about is comment management. In fact, no one ever taught me this. I had to learn this through experience, right? It's important to have a system for managing your posts and your comments because you're working so hard to get people to visit your posts, you don't want a negative comment to affect their buying decision. Now, let me ask you, were you thinking about this in advance? See, it's important that we're talking about this now, isn't it? But you also don't want to have a full-time job. Okay, that's the main thing that I'm going to drive home here is how can you manage comments? How can you manage all this without having a full-time job, without having to sit there and just constantly be on top of it. So there's a simple little technique that I personally use to manage multiple dark posts. And I've got to the point where there have been hundreds. So when you get to that point, and I don't know how soon it'll be there, you got to have some sort of system. So I'm not going to show you the heavy duty system just because it's too complicated and it just would take too long. But I'm going to show you the quick, effective, simple system for managing multiple dark posts. Now, we've talked about researching posts. We've also talked about keeping them organized by getting a folder here with all of your posts. Now, what you want to do is you want to do this with your own dark posts as well. You can either create folders inside of folders, or you can just keep them whatever system you want. You can create another bookmark here. I don't really care how you do it, but you're probably going to want to track your own dark posts. Now, I prefer to do it this way using tabs up here, because I just want easy access to be able to manage them. So when it comes to managing, there's a few things to do. First things first, let's look at some other businesses and let's just kind of take a look at the engagement here in their posts. And let's kind of, I don't know, let's make our own decision whether we think they're doing a good job or not. So let's start here with 5-4. It's a clothing company. They have this ad. It's not much going on here. 44 people like it, 15 shares, and several comments here. So first thing I want to point out is people are asking questions, what kind of sizes are available, maybe objections. So people are in the comments, they're going to ask questions, objections, they're going to give feedback. There's a lot of things that could happen. Somebody might start posting links to other businesses here. Somebody might be just trash talking. There's a lot of things you can do. One is you can delete posts really easily. You can, if you're the admin of the page, you can actually delete them. They'll be gone. Right here, this is just hiding it from me. But you'll be able to delete it. The other thing you can do is you can respond. Like, let's say this person Zach here has an honest question. Is there slim sizes available? What you'd want to do is you'd want to reply because that's a potential sale, right? So you want to maximize your effectiveness. Now, if you're running massive amounts of dark post ads, then you probably don't have time to respond to everybody all the time. And look, I have no evidence that I can document that shows you're going to make more sales this way. But it just feels like common sense that, there's going to be a lot of people who have questions. And there's also going to be people in here that can, kind of be haters along the way. So here's 5-4 responding to Chris Etheridge. I don't even see Chris Etheridge's quote. But anyways, this is an example. So very little, comments here. So there's not a whole lot of engagement needed, but I just wanted to break it down. Let's look at another one. Here's 43 North. They're talking about funding entrepreneurs. You can see here 7,000 people like it, 1,730 shares, and a ton of comments. First things first, look at this. 43 North replied. 43. This is the stuff I like. I like looking at examples of dark posts where people are actually in here replying. So look at this. Good way to steal a lot of ideas because, see, they're asking you to submit your idea. So here, look. This person might even mean well. This guy might even mean well, right? He just is like even kind of joking there. But still, 43 North should respond. So let's see what they said to this comment here. Thank you for voicing your concerns. 43 North does not steal ideas. It is part of New York State Governor Cuomo's Buffalo Billion Initiative aiming to stimulate Buffalo's economy. Okay, I don't need to read it all. You get the point. That's what you call overcoming an objection. Now, this right here got 10 likes, which means people are reading it. And that just goes to show, there's going to be things like this, and you can see this has 53 likes, so people are agreeing with this person. So if you're really going to be running big dark post ads, you're going to want to get in here and at least do your best to be able to offer, a counter rebuttal to people's objections like that. Let's go down a little bit further. 43, they do it again here. We do not take ownership in intellectual property. So here they are, overcoming objections. Stealing good business ideas, nope, same thing. Patent and steal the ideas, nope, same thing. So see what they're doing here. They're making an effort. How about foreign business? Let's see what they say. Yes, we're looking for businesses from around the world. Condo development in the Philippines would not be eligible. So, and they're answering questions here. Sorry, but hospitality is excluded. Okay, so here you go. They're answering questions. They're getting in here. So here's an example of it done pretty good. And you can see at a certain point, they just kind of stopped asking questions. Maybe not. There's just a bunch going on here. So there's a ton of comments. So again, it could get out of control. You might need a social media team if you're doing massive amounts. But if you're running things at a high level, you're going to want to engage that way. Let's look at a couple more examples. Toyota USA. Here's a sales event. Roughly 2,000 people liked it. Here's a bunch of comments. You can see Toyota's replying. Now, why am I bringing up these main brands? Because normally, big brands like this actually have a social media team. And so usually that person will take the time to respond. So I like when I'm going through and I see an ad by Toyota USA, I for sure want to bookmark that in my dark posts folder because I like seeing how these bigger brands respond. Here's people who are paid to be able to respond, and I like kind of seeing, why does it say 0%, but when I go to the website, it says 1.9%, okay? That's a good question, objection, right? Hi, Mike, for further clarification and details, you're going to contact your local Toyota dealership. Not the best response, but that's probably because this person's probably right. But anyways, who knows? Anyways, you can see there's a lot of replies here. So it's good to get in there. There's tons of replies all the way along the way there. Get in there and reply when you can. You don't have to all the time. Let's look at this one. Scribd. CY Wired magazine called Scribd the Netflix for books. Enjoy over 100,000 books. 5,375 shares. 8,906 people like it. So they've been running this ad for a long time. But look, I don't see really any replies here. Okay. And there's just a lot of people who are asking questions, saying stuff. Most people are basically saying, hey, this is all free at the library. That's pretty easy to overcome. But library for free, why pay $99 a month? Library for free, Okay, so anyways, a lot of comments, but no real engagement there. Now here's their competition, Oyster. Now, real quick, look, the Netflix for books. Look at Oyster. See why CNN calls Oyster the Netflix for books. I think that's funny. See why Wired magazine calls this the Netflix for books. Anyways, side note, I just find that funny, but. As we're going on here, again, 2,800 shares, 423 shares, 2,800 likes. So a lot of activity here. Oyster replied, sorry in advance. The app claims to be the Netflix for books. Really? I'm thinking it could also be called the library. Okay, same kind of stuff. But look, Oyster is replying. Thanks for your note. We're really proud of the product put together. So they're taking the time to come in here and reply. Now look at this. 45 people like that. So this one reply right here, when you're running ads, my main point is I want to show you a lot of people, really do follow along, okay? Especially when you have a lot of activity on your ad. Oyster replied here, Oyster replied there. So you can see, you can kind of start to see this replying can help. It really does help, okay? Now, of course, they're not doing it to everybody, but just do it as often as you can. I mean, especially overcoming objections, stuff like that. They do a semi-decent job here. Probably not enough, 300 comments there. Anyways, point being is that this engagement kind of works. Let's look at one of my ads from a while ago. Now, this one is from January. This one was targeting 49er fans who were women, okay, and saying, hey, here's a sweatshirt you might be interested in. Now, I've done a bunch of different ads. This one right here used a celebrity in it. I wanted to test the waters and see about that. I currently don't use celebrities really anymore in my ads because I don't want to run any chance of any kind of issue. So I don't know that I recommend that. Did it help? Sure, it might have helped a little bit, but I've run so many ads that were successful without celebrities, I just don't feel the need anymore when I was first getting started. The other thing I wouldn't do is click like and share. Facebook doesn't give these posts as much organic distribution. So when somebody shares it, they won't share it in the they won't put it in the newsfeed as much. But back then in January, it was going fine. So as you can see, 2,000 people liked this, so I ran it for a little while. Only one share. Unfortunately, not a lot of shares there. But look, I didn't comment back on anything. Okay, now the good news is most all these comments are all positive. Okay, so that's the good news. All these comments are pretty much positive down here. My paid reach was 30,000 people. My organic reach was 1,280. Now, I would have had more of an organic reach if people were sharing this. Okay, and I did ask them to share, but for whatever reason they didn't. But a lot of people liked it. So that's where the organic reach comes from. People like this, and then it shows up in the newsfeed of their friends. So as you can see down there, I got a lot of organic, reach right there. Now, in this example, I didn't really interact, but I wanted to point this out because this didn't require much interaction. These are just a bunch of people saying how much they love it. Okay, now, if this was a controversial topic like God first, family, then the Niners, if it mentioned like God or something like that, the shirt could sell well. Maybe I targeted Christian 49er fans, but if it mentions God, an ad like that could be pretty controversial. And in the comments, next thing you know, you got a bunch of debating, stuff like that. So the main thing I want to show you is just simply how to manage. This is also positive. I feel bad, but it's an old ad. It's an old shirt, so I don't really care. I'm just trying to see if there's anything negative. Okay, we'll use this since everything's positive. This one has a curse word in it. Now, I'm not saying a curse word is going to turn anybody off, especially when this thing says good girl gone bad, whatever, good girl gone Niners. So, but what you can do is you simply can hide that right there. Now, this is only visible to the person who wrote it and their friends. But the next thing I want to show you is this one, ban. So what you would do is it's a two-step process, even three-step right here. I can hide this, but it leaves it there, but only to them and their friends. Next, I can delete it all the way. But the second step I'd actually do is ban this user. Now, in this case, of course, I wouldn't ban them. But let's say that here's the thing. Let's say that this person is just throwing a bunch of hate out there. Look, I don't have time for that. I'm paying money for this. I'll probably just ban them. If you're kind of the person that's like all about free speech, then just reply to them and start the conversation, start the debate. Maybe it'll go viral. Maybe you can persuade people. But a lot of times, because I'm so busy, I'll just hide it, ban it, then delete it. Hide, ban, delete, hide, ban, delete, hide, ban, delete. Because who cares? This one less person out of thousands, right? Or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. In this case, 30,000 people. So that's a simple strategy right there. But at the very least, you can hide it. It's still visible to this person, and it's still visible to their friends. But so be it. Let it be if they want. Okay. So anyways, that's some tips on management. What I would probably do. See, I don't know that I'll go in and respond to all these people. But what I'd at least do is keep an eye on it. When I first started, I didn't. But what I'd at least do is keep an eye on it. And just the main thing you're looking for is questions, objections, and hate. That's the main thing you're looking for. This kind of stuff, you can go in there and like people's stuff, but it's not going to do much. So anyways, hopefully you've enjoyed this quick little tutorial on how to manage these posts. And hopefully it's been beneficial. All right, so in summary, I hope you appreciate the fact that I felt like this was an important topic. I hope you appreciate that while no one else is out there talking about, the commenting side, the engagement side in all of your posts, I do think that's an important piece. And I showed you some examples of people that do it good and people that don't do it so good. So hopefully you've enjoyed this module. Hopefully you've enjoyed the value that you're receiving out of this course as well. Now, in the next module, module number 21, I'm actually going to show you how to track posts. And I'm going to talk about the importance of tracking posts because numbers are everything in our business, and that's really the point I want to drive home. So meet me on the next module where we can dive into the numbers. For you analytical people, you're going to like that, and let's talk about tracking your posts.